Ramsey.
This is great. I always like to tell my annual Earth Day story because sometimes we forget where we came from. It's hard to know where you're going unless you know where you came from. I was a sophomore at A&M in environmental engineering in 1972 when the Dr. Ball, who headed up the department, was given the task of evaluating the condition of the water in the Houston Ship Channel. So he took, of course, students down there to do the sampling. In 1972, the sampling protocol for the Houston Ship Channel, essentially, and Commissioner Garcia knows the spot, the Turning Basin and 610. That's where we went to sample. The sampling protocol was don't light a cigarette within 100 yards of the ship channel. They were afraid of spontaneous combustion. So it really wasn't a difficult analysis. Essentially, the Houston Ship Channel in 1972 was a dead body of water. The city of Houston was dumping raw sewage from their plants. Y'all don't know any of this if I didn't tell you. That's all been cleaned up since then. And what I'll say about our generation, we've tried and I think done a pretty effective job of dealing with it. There's much work to do, and I'll get to that in a minute. But essentially, we can go to that same spot today and we'll go fishing. It has the oxygen levels are great. I would recommend you not eat the fish. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But I think Earth Day is important to remind us of where we came from. I think Commissioner Garcia will attest that in 1972, you could see the air in Pasadena. It was thick. It was a cloud. You don't see that today. Is there work to be done? You're not hearing me that there's not work to be done. But I think it's important to know that, yeah, there has been effort. As steward of 74 parks in Harris County, we take this very seriously. The only botanical garden in the county is in Precinct 3, and we take that very seriously. We're actually doing a study at that park, very quietly, on ancient seeds. We have 4 people working full-time, and you say, well, what does that have to do? The seeds over 200 years ago, 100 years ago, were much healthier than what we have today, and they're doing an analysis of that. So much of this is tied to Earth Day and how we are stewards of what the good Lord has given us. I'm going to, with my great colleagues here, going to offer a tree challenge. I think we should compete on an annual basis on how many trees we can get planted. And, you know, a little competition never hurt anything. Judge, you can be the judge.
There you go.
of who wins. That leads us to work to be done. And my resolution deals with, if I could ask Jackie Medcalf, would you come up? Deals with the topic that bothers me the most in my precinct. Bothers me the most in terms of what exists today and should not exist. And the resolution essentially says everyone deserves clean rivers, creeks, and air to breathe. It's our duty to ensure the safety of our communities for future generations. This starts with the state accurately reporting heartbreaking reality of what people are facing in East Harris County with cancer clusters emerging, areas affected by environmental factors related to the San Jacinto River waste pits. They've been there for decades. We know about it. We know the problems they create in the environment, and yet we're still waiting for action. Consequently, they've been plagued by abnormally high rates of leukemia, lymphoma, lung and bronchitis, all kinds of cancers, additional rare forms of cancer, The state of Texas has advised against eating fish and shellfish for 35 years, but when you're 10 years old, you're a kid, you want to go swimming in the San Jacinto River, you don't read the sign, you go swimming in the San Jacinto River. We know full remediation must be done to prevent a catastrophic leaking of toxins from the site. It's absolutely at the worst spot you could ever put a Superfund. This is a Superfund waste pit at the San Jacinto River in I-10. And whenever the floods happen, and Commissioner Garcia and I could write a book on that, when the floods happen, the pit is going to end up into Galveston Bay, and that's just a matter of time till that happens. So it's time to get these pits cleaned up. We know who did it. I'll not mention names. Waste Management, International Paper. They are the responsible parties. I refer to them as the irresponsible parties. They have money to do it. I know they do, because they sponsor golf tournaments and do all kinds of other things. All I need you to do, this isn't hard, come get your waste out of the river and haul it off. This isn't complicated. So Harris County Precinct 3 stands with the Texas Health and Environment Alliance, headed up by Jackie, to keep those impacted by these folks at the forefront of the fight. And all we need is the EPA to stand up and say, do it. Go clean them up. Don't cap them. Don't do any kind of temporary fix. Go clean them up. With that said, that's the resolution, to get the San Jacinto waste pits cleaned up, and I think Earth Day would be a great day to consider it.
Thank you.
Now I don't know many warriors in my life, but you're looking at one here. That's Jackie Medcalf, who quietly, effectively gathers data. She doesn't do anything that's not data-driven. She herself, don't know if she's going to tell that story, but she grew up in East Harris County. She herself has dealt with health issues associated with that river, associated with this pit. So Jackie, why don't you speak to us?
Thank you, Commissioner Ramsey. My name is Jackie Medcalf, and I'm the founder and executive director of Texas Health and Environment Alliance. We're a nonprofit that was truly founded out of necessity, out of my family's experience growing up in Highlands in East Harris County, and truly having our family robbed of the American dream and trying to prevent another family from going through that. We really screamed and advocated, to Texas Department of State Health Services for many years to study our health, because we felt like we were disproportionately impacted by the San Jacinto River Waste Pit Superfund site. The first study was produced in 2015, and most recently we requested an update to that study because there were new cancers that people were concerned about, and we wanted to know, how have rates changed? And so what the State Health Department did was initially set up the area as the San Jacinto River floodplain for the study area. It's 250 square miles of Harris County, 65 census tracts, and that was because we know that when the area floods—
Go ahead.
Thank you. When a storm surge comes in, contaminants from the waste pits are dispersed throughout our communities. And this time around in the 2025 study, the state blanketed the entire 250 square mile area as a cancer cluster for the types of cancers that Commissioner mentioned. So what do we do with that? How do we help our communities? And so we need the EPA to get the waste pits out of the river. They are a known risk and threat to our communities. And second, we need the state to provide localized census tract data for this study area as they did in 2015. Because how do we assist our communities? How do we know which communities in that 250 square mile area are disproportionately impacted and which ones are not? Thank you, Commissioner Ramsey, for your leadership on this issue. I appreciate all of you and your support as well.
Thank you.